it made me think of this. So a stickiness point that we had with keeping users, if you will, was, okay, I want to come to this event or this topic, but I don't want to come to that next one. So were you able to find that your 6-week cohorts and keeping them coming back week after week was enough to keep them to stay on month to month after that? Or how did you kind of come across that?
I mean, we're still working on it. So we modeled, I'll get in the weeds a little bit. We modeled our churn at 20% month over month. We thought that we'd lose about 20% of our customers every month. And so far we haven't lost that many. In fact, it's been about half of that, which has been in a lot of ways surprising to me. It may mean that we're underpriced. It could mean that we've got early adopters that are more forgiving. Who knows? So I think that's going to, that'll ebb and flow as we go. But this happened more by chance. The way that I had built the program was I had basically written it long form first, and then I sliced it into what I thought would make sense, which was originally 6 1.5 hour live sessions. This is the one we did last summer. The one I'm running now is actually 4 1-hour live sessions. So I really pruned and edited it down a lot, but there is a progression week to week that kind of introduces new and more complex concepts to the founders that are taking the programs. And so like towards the end of the program, we talk about retention. We're talking about net revenue retention, gross revenue retention. I mean, these are terms that I had not even heard of, maybe until 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. Right. And now we're teaching.
Do you see that those, even from week 1 to 6, you're seeing a drop down, kind of like the gym, January 1, it's busy. And then by January 10th, it's done.
No,
you see those people,
they stick around. They stick around. And if anything, they get more engaged as they go because the content gets more actionable. So you build your growth and financial model first, and then we talk about acquisition, and then hopefully you're out running ads and you're learning from that. And then we dive into activation and onboarding, and you're changing your website. And then we talk about retention or retention strategy. So now you're changing things to try to impact retention. Then we talk about experimentation. So there's a systematic way that we move people through it. With the channel programs, we don't yet know. There might be drop off because maybe you got most of what you needed in week 1 and 3. And that's what you came in. You came in to learn a specific skill versus the stuff that I've been running so far has been more, it kind of applies to everybody in every situation. It's more generic.
If you ever get a chance, you should try to just interview or talk with people who write shows for Netflix and OT, just general streaming shows, because the way that they create content now is very different than the way that they would create content for your broadcast shows. And so broadcast shows, they were able to push it during the week. Oh, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back.
Yeah.
Or come back on Tuesday at 8 p.m. and watch this show. Right. So that's the habit. Right. Now with like a show on Netflix, they want you to keep marathon viewing is the term that they call.
Yeah.
And so they have to write it differently to give that climax enough of a hook to keep you there, which is what you're talking about. And so to hook them is it's very difficult. And obviously some shows do tremendously well. Some shows don't.
Fascinating.
But that hook is interesting. And so if you could ever, and I learned about this like 4 years ago, and it is fascinating. It seems like, oh yeah, well, duh. But like not until you really think about it, it's like, oh, well, before they are trying to get you to watch, Sopranos on a Sunday at 9 p.m.
Right.
That's the hook, to come back there. In Netflix viewing or any of those OTTs, it's no, we want you to watch it on Friday and then don't stop for 13 hours.
Right.
Yeah. And the episodic shows are interesting because they almost were built for that. They were built for that continuation, right? But now with the on-demand access, and if they launch the whole first season, I mean, what was the one with the chess player? What was that on Netflix?
I know. I didn't watch it.
Anyways, it was really good, and my wife and I were hooked. Like, we blew through that in just a couple of days.
I mean, think about Tiger King, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see Tiger King, but I've heard.
You're the only person who's never watched Tiger King.
I know. Working too much. I got to spend more time watching TV. I did just start Game of Thrones, I will be honest. I know it's 8 years too late.
I've never watched an episode of it.
3 years ago.
Okay.
I would stop now if I were you, but
I'm generally 8 years behind everything.
I just watched Sopranos. So when I was training for my Ironman, a lot of it was over the winter. So I would have a bike in the garage that I would just ride. and through like a trainer. And so I'd hook up my laptop and I would watch, 2, 3, 4 hours of Sopranos.
I'm rewatching that right now. It's like, that's my go. So, it's interesting talking about kind of like founder and life balance. I don't have quite as much like leisure time maybe as I would like, but I love what I'm doing. And so I'm putting a lot into it, but I am finding that 20 to 30 minutes a day, I have to do something other than think about work, and Sopranos or any other show that one might be interested in is actually a great escape. And it's so engaging. The shows are so engaging that they force you to not be thinking about your startup 24/7. Right. So
well, and something healthy. I think for Tim as well, both of us, we try to get all of our fitness done before 8 a.m. Right. And so Tim's are 30, 40 hour long runs until he gets into marathon prep in a couple of days. But, for me, I was doing 2-3 hours a day before 8 a.m. for 21 weeks. I mean,
wow.
Try watching Sopranos at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, Craig, don't wait 8 years to watch Ted Lasso. So if you haven't watched that yet, that's a great series.
I'll write it down. I've also heard good things about that one too. See, people didn't know that we were going to get into the, into pop culture here.
Well, but the thing is it is really important though. You gotta, I have to take breaks to, just to relax my brain. Otherwise I just get too wrapped up in everything. And so that's why I got my standing desk. I feel like I think better when I'm on my feet or if I'm just taking a little bit of walk, but
yeah.
I've been directly involved within our entrepreneurial community for years. And the most common question I get is, Tim, I want to get involved, but I don't know what events I should attend. Well, Startwheel eliminates that pain point because we consolidate all the events you should attend into a single calendar. Now you'll be in the know and see where to spend your time. Gone is the need to search multiple websites and calendars. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.